We haven't used these things?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'll keep it anyway.
Do we need these on anymore?
We'll just keep them.
them.
Just fucking keep them in. Right, let's go. Get this screen up. Are we putting the screen up? Yeah. Testing.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh, that's all right.
Apologies for the technical difficulties of which you could have heard. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand final, grand final footy show of the GameFace Southern Football Netball League Division 3 and 4 is what we're going to be talking about, seniors and reserves. Can't wait to crack into this, because I've been talking about this stuff, or I've been talking about you boys that are wearing the polos out there all year, and I can't wait to find out who's going to win the grand final this week, because I've got a panel of experts here. They're going to tell me who's going to go. Well, we are live from the Sandbelt Hotel in Moorabbin. Thanks to the Sandbelt for putting on the good grub, the good beers. A lot of people getting stuck into that out there. The wonderful hospitality here. It's been about 20 years. I reckon I came here about 20 years ago. It has not changed a bit. Well done. A few pops at that bar just over there. Welcome to our live audience over Facebook, ladies and gentlemen that are here in the room. We are live on Facebook, so you can't swear and do any of that sort of stuff that Tommy Seeger was just doing before. Give Tommy Seeger, the comedian, a big round of applause. The suburban football, he was fantastic, I thought. Welcome to our studio audience too. Give yourselves a big round of applause for sticking around. Oh my God. Wilbur, they're all wearing their kit. Aren't they looking resplendent? There's some oranges, there's some greens, there's some blacks. They're representing their teams out there. They're excited for this weekend, aren't they?
Why wouldn't they be? I mean, it's sort of what we play footy for, isn't it? Grand final week. It's hard not to get excited, mate. And fantastic venue, mine local actually. So I want to stick around and have a couple of jars afterwards. And don't tell the boss I might be late in tomorrow.
He's local and he's sunk, by the looks of him, plenty of pots and palmers in this place over it started already. A big shout out to our sponsors in Bendigo Bank, Caulfield Park. Swiv's Locker, that's the guys that looked after us with Tops, and I'm sure some of your teams have been looked after by Swiv's Locker as well. Great gear. Petter's Suspension and Brakes, they've been looking after our special guests all year. And I've got to shout out to all the teams that sent down some guys to talk to us on our panels, and girls, and people with the netball and the cricket and all that sort of stuff. Local suburban clubs have been really looking after GameFace over the journey. Melsafe, Sports Performance Tracking and Garley trophies as well. Big thank you to Tommy Seegert. As I said, the football is going to be very busy over the grand final period. If you weren't here, you missed out. Big show, 4 grand finals to preview, Wilbur, and I'm going to introduce the panel to you in a minute. Some of them are going to be, one of them is going to be playing in one of those grand finals. Big Jackson Fry, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Jacko.
Thanks, fella.
Division 3, Jackson's pockets fry. You can see the 4 pockets or back pockets just shining in that beautiful light there. There's about 4 or 5 different colours beaming off that forehead over there. He's going to be obviously running around with Hampton Park this weekend. They're going to be taking on Clayton in the Division 3 Senior Grand Final, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, well done to Hampton Park and Clayton. Big round of applause. Fantastic teams all year round, and we'll be talking Division 4 seniors as well. Lyndhurst versus South Yarra. Patrick Cook's here to help us with that. Big round of applause for Paddy and those 2 teams as well for getting through. We cracked all the way through to the end of the show. It won't take too long, ladies and gentlemen. You can get back to the bar. We're going to have some breaks along the way. We're going to get out and chat to you too, so you're not safe where you're sitting. Wilbur's going to come out and find you soon. All the way to the end where we'll announce the Division 3 and Division 4 teams of the year. Wilbur, welcome to you, mate. I know I just said good day to you before. I'm going to hand the mic to you. You're going to say hello, and then you're going to do the same. Jacko, Paddy, all the way down the line, because we've only got one big microphone. So we'll keep moving down. Wilbur, how are you, mate? Big day for you. Big weekend of football coming up.
Yeah, mate, it's been a huge day, been a huge week. Grand final week's always huge. It's been a bit of a rocky start, to be honest, but hopefully the boys over in the corner can get it all under control. I don't mind sharing the microphone with you though, and the good thing about me holding it is that you're not. It's hard to get a word in when you're on the show, so that's fantastic. But of course, it's great to have you in the show as well. You've done a fantastic job all year. Let's give it up to the main man, Russell Robertson, everybody. It's not like Robbo to pump himself up, but of course, the man to my left, Jackson Fry, big weekend for you, buddy.
It sure is, Will. Exciting times, and looking forward to Sunday, mate. Big grand final for our club, both sides in it, and hopefully we can get the job done.
Absolutely, and a big welcome over to Paddy Cook as well, who's been a fantastic addition to our GameFace Division 4 footy show for 2019. Paddy, welcome to you.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for letting me get down here. It should be a fantastic weekend. So South Yarra and Lyndhurst, 2-2 for the year. So who knows which way it's going to go.
This isn't clubbing at all, is it, ladies and gentlemen? Moving on quite nicely. Come on, boys, get that second microphone working as soon as you possibly can. What we're going to do, because we had a lot of fun on the show this year, before we go any further, we're going to throw to a bit of a blooper reel in a second. It's been fantastic. It absolutely has, because I've been involved in the Southern Football Netball League for about 3 years now, 3 or 4 years now with the Doveton Football Club, where we won a premiership in Division 3, went up to Division 2, lost the grand final last year, and still in the finals this year. It's been really enjoyable. I didn't introduce myself, didn't need to, because Wilbur did it for me. But yes, obviously my background, for those that don't know, because there's a lot of young people that weren't born when I was playing for the Melbourne Football Club in the room too. So that's my journey, and I'm 40 years of age now, and I still really enjoy playing football. It is a wonderful sport. It's a wonderful game. The best thing about transitioning from AFL down to suburban level is the friendships you make. It's different. It really is. You get around a football club like the Doveton Football Club, and you realise that people are really out there to look after the people in the local towns or the local clubs. They stick together, and I think that's why a lot of people will get involved. People like Jacko that get involved in somewhere like Hampton Park because they know that someone's got their back. Football clubs, netball clubs, women's football clubs, still alive and kicking and actually really cracking along, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not just Hampton Park. It's pretty much every community footy club in the country that does the exact same thing, and we've got a few really good examples of that in tonight with obviously Clayton, Lyndhurst and Debbie Hills, South Yarra, Frankston Dolphins. It's absolutely huge. So looking forward to cracking into a massive show.
Now that was the welcome. That's the first segment, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a break now and have a look at some of the bloopers from our 2019 GameFace footy shows. While the bloopers are being played, we're going to get out there and find our first guest to join us up here on the couches.
You on, Gary?
Big round of applause for the blooper reel.
Oh, Jesus. Gary's up next.
Get your game face on. Get your game face on. Get your game face on. Game face on.
I don't have that. I don't have that version in front of me.
To be honest, I think I'd stopped typing and just accidentally put my hand on the keyboard. the cat gif springs to mind.
I've got it here.
I've got the photo of it here.
Dylan Taylor
sorry,
slotted
mate.
frisbee.
I was interviewing Scotty Steghouse and everything else. So it was reeling off some names. I was just writing them, and I've gone, I'll just type these out into notes. I'll type these out into notes, and then I just went and completely forgot about it, and then just printed them as is.
From the centre line, we've got Jack Callaway from CPL.
He's been a very good pick-up, Callaway for South Yarra. Brent Ruffin, hey?
Why have we got CPL?
Because I've made a typo. That's fine.
Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, cool.
I'm having a stick. Did you say Jack Callaway from CPL or South Yarra?
I said from CPL because it says CPL there. Do you want me to go from the centre line again?
Yeah, do that.
Yep.
Let's do that.
How many great Kevins do you know? Kevin Bartlett,
Not the former Prime Minister.
Kevin Sheedy,
Kevin Rudd.
Kevin Rudd.
Kevin McAllister from Home and Away fame.
Yes.
Isn't he one
Home
of the
Alone, what a great set of
I say?
movies.
Home Alone?
Home and Away.
That's how well I'm going at the moment.
I knew what you meant, Will, that's right.
Home Alone. Yeah. Nicely done there, Wilbur. He does some great work, does our man Wilbur, in the front of the green screen. He's lost the plot.
You got me there. I didn't expect you to say that. That was good. Well done.
G'day and welcome to the GameFace Footy Show live here at GameFace HQ in Studio 1. My name is Russell Robertson and you aren't. That's Patrick Cook over there and I'm not him and he's not Will because that's Will Hunter and I'm not you either and you're not me. You know what I mean. Let's move into this show.
You feeling okay, Robbo?
And I should have said before we get to that, let's go to this. I am feeling quite strange and really going to start this again. Because that was just a bit all over. I like it though. I might do that again.
So make sure that you send in your best bruises, muddiest teammates, best pro dance, shittest skits and tattoos.
Here's that again. Ow!
I was on a roll there!
But I was laughing.
Jane Will Hunter. I reckon I'm as buxom as Jane.
Yeah. Righto.
Very voluptuous.
Jets' big win. Is it night or nights? I like
We'll go with
night.
night.
If it's night, it's night. That's his name. You've got to call him by what his name is. It doesn't sound right. Knight? Yeah. Check it for me.
Righto.
David Knight.
Okay. Make sure you send in your best bruises, muddiest face.
Make sure you send your
Muddiest spray chance.
send your muddiest spray tan.
I think it is night.
Chris Knight, I think. Yeah, Knight.
Yeah, no S. No S.
Mag 7 in Jets' big win.
Day night.
GameFace. That's what the we are. No.
I'm still thinking about Jane Bubs.
Get your game face on.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand final preview of the reserves. We're going to start talking about the reserves grand final coming up on Sunday, September 8th. It's going to be raining on Sunday too. Saturday and Sunday. I'm not looking forward to that. Hopefully it's not going to rain on us. Sunday or Saturday?
Sunday.
Sunday, right. Hampton Park in Debbie Hills. Give it up for these two gentlemen. We have Captain Ryan Hudson and Senior Assistant Coach Phil Gurr to talk about Hampton Park. Park. Of course, Jackson Fry can talk about Hampton Park as well and what's going on with the reserves. It's been a fantastic. We'll start with Hampton Park and we'll start with you, Paul, because the year has been sensational. No doubt for the Hampton Park Redbacks. Obviously, last year making the grand final, going down to Springvale Districts that moved up to Division 2. You would have been a bit dirty about that because 2 evenly matched teams last year. This year, you haven't let it affect you at all. The club has come out, all fired up, and seniors and reserves, a sensational year.
Yeah, well, we made a pact at the start of the year that we want to have 2 flags. So far, so good, but the job's not done yet. The club was pretty dirty where they finished last year, so we got one more win, hopefully, for both sides, and we get what we wanted at the start of the year.
That's a pretty bold statement to say we're going to get 2 premierships, isn't it? I mean, most clubs will say, oh, you don't say the F word, which is finals at the start of the year. We just get through week by week. To come out and say as a whole group, we want to win premierships, reserves and seniors, that's bold, and I think that's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, we have, and the fact that we have is a challenge to our playing group. No disrespect to the opposition that we've got on the weekend. 2 good opposition sides for both sides, especially in Debbie Hills in the reserves and Clayton in the first. But we've made the decision what we want, and we really want that. So what will be, and as I said, there's no disrespect to the opposition at all.
I'll ask you one more before I go on to Ryan, captain of the year in Debbie Hills, a reserve side. And then we'll pass the mic down to Jacko, because I'm sure Jacko's got a couple of questions, and Wilbur as well. Paul, your team obviously must have done something differently this year. You must have come together in the pre-season. Did you work really hard? Everyone was really committed. Or was it just one of those things, everything's just come together well, it's all clicked and you've won every single game almost? I think you only lost 1 game for the year. I'm not sure about the reserves. Excuse my ignorance, only 3 games for the year, I think. Yeah, we lost it for the year. It's an absolutely amazing effort. Was it the pre-season? Was it the group of guys you got together? Whole club, or was it?
And what you're saying, it was just the whole club and what we want to achieve. In the 2s, we lost 3 games, which twice was 2 in Debbie Hills and once at Black Rock. And we've just been on the one page as one club, and this is what we want to achieve. And if we can achieve that, fantastic. And as I said, Sunday will tell us where we're at and how we go, and what will be, will be.
A couple of years ago, the W Eagles played against Debbie Hills in the grand final. It was a sensational day's football. I've got to remind everyone
every week
the winning goal for the Dublin Eagles, who's standing up right now. It was one of those special moments in sport to roll in Debbie Hills. They've been unlucky, this is my point in Debbie Hills over the last couple of years, to not get a premiership. I'm going to go to you, Ryan, now the captain of the reserves. Here's your real chance to get a bit of silverware for this football club, because you've been a proud club over the last probably 3 or 4 years. Haven't been quite able to get there to the pinnacle. Got a real chance this weekend.
Yeah, obviously the last few years for the seniors been pretty disappointing. We've won a couple of reserves flags in previous years. I did 1 girls, 1 on the weekend. So a bit of silverware there already, but we're really hoping to add to it this Saturday and sort of finish up that pack deal, hopefully.
I was going to ask you, Ryan, the first semi-final when you played Hampton Park 2 weeks ago, it's fair to say they touched you guys up. What are you going to do to get the edge on us this week?
Well, for starters, I'll try and win the toss this time.
Let's hope it's not windy.
Didn't work out too well. I think it was 7 goals to 0 in the first quarter with that breeze. But look, we've obviously had a good look at it, could think about what we can improve on, and we've got a few ways that we think we can really get a hold of Hampton Park that probably didn't work so well for us in the semi-final. We're really looking forward to the challenge of having another crack at them.
One more from me, mate. With your seniors dropping out and obviously the eligibility with reserves, will you have any guys that can't play this week?
There's a couple of boys that can roll back, but we've actually had 54 blokes roll through the 2s this year, which is, I found that out last night. Pretty amazing. It's
a big number.
54 is just an incredible number. So, a few boys that can definitely roll back, but we'll just have to wait till the weekend.
Good answer.
And obviously a few injuries for the senior boys throughout the year, which it isn't ideal, obviously, and it sort of forced a couple of guys to play up and get a crack at senior footy. Are there a few guys that have played regular senior footy throughout the year that won't be eligible to play on the weekend?
Yeah, so there's, I think off the top of my head, there's 3 or 4 blokes that missed out by 1 game, which is pretty disappointing for them, pretty disappointing for us. But unfortunately, that's how the rules go. I'm sure Hampton Park are in the same position in terms of numbers and eligibility, but we'll be pretty confident with the side that we put in this week that we can get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. And to you, Paul, you finished second on the ladder, and was it 3 or 4 losses for the year? Still finished with a percentage of 382. How the hell did you guys manage that?
A lot of big wins.
No disrespect to some of the bottom sides, well, a couple of bottom sides, they had a crack, Cerberus. We had some massive wins against them. But in saying that, when we did have those big wins against them, a lot of the boys, majority of the boys, come out of the game very sore. So, I'm guessing that's where it happened. But we did have some good wins along the line, and yeah, that's where we're at.
Question for Paul.
Now, Paul, you come across this year from Oakwood District, a Division 1 club. How would you compare the training stands at Hampton Park and how we go about it compared to a First Division club?
I'd put it up there with the Division 1 club. The way Justin's ran training and Shannon and myself have ran training, and plus Hager and Chriso and the twos, we've done drills. I think we've set a high standard for the whole year, and I think everyone's bought in, and it's just showing where we are. What we do off the track and what we do on the track is just buy-in from everyone, and it's been fantastic.
Back to Robert.
Well, we've got the panel of experts here, and I'll talk about the 2 guys at the end. So we might as well talk about these 2 sitting up here, and possibly the guys sitting out there. Who's going to win this one and why? We've kept a close eye on both of these clubs, as well as all the other clubs in this division, in this level. These 2 have played each other a few times already, Wilbur. It's been, like we said, it's been a bit tough because there's not too many teams in this competition. There's, what is it, 6? 6, so you're playing each other every 3 or 4 weeks. So you get a really good look at each other, and more often than not, you're going to get 2 or 3 wins, half and half splits. That's what we've seen all year round. Who wins this grand final and why? I'm going to start with you, Wilbur.
Look, I think the week off will do Hampton Park the world of good, and obviously a resounding win in their semi-final puts them in good stead. And Debbie Hill's obviously finished on top of the ladder for a reason, and I'll give it a fair hit and crack. But look, I'm going Hampton Park. It'll be a close one though, 2 of the best sides in the competition, and probably won't be much in it come final time, Jacko.
Yeah, spot on, Will. For obvious reasons, I'm going to tip Hampton Park. Watched that semi-final very closely 2 weeks ago, and very impressive. We've got some guys coming back from injury and fitness, and with the week off, I think we'll win that. But all the best to Ryan, and may the best team win.
So Will, I'm going to hand the microphone over to you, mate. You're going to talk us through the next one because we've only got 1 microphone. Yep. We're going to talk about some of the highlights of the year. Now, you compiled a bit of a list here, top 5. Guys can start here and maybe chat through this as well if you get an opportunity to. Goals and marks are what it's all about as far as I'm concerned in football. Playing the forward line, that's all I basically knew how to do. I didn't realise there was a thing called handballing and tackling. Goal of the year, you've got some bits for these people to watch. I'm not sure if this is going to drop down. And mark of the year, handing it over to Wilbur. Let's talk up some of the great action from season 2019.
Sure, that was a bit awkward. I was trying to grab that out of your hands, so I couldn't wait to get it, to be honest. Have a look at the screens behind you, and to the left where you can poll a bit of goal of the year and mark of the year. So 5 of the best in Division 3. So start off with goals. Coming at number 5, Byron Ho from Clayton Adelaide. Runs out of the middle and stops that one from about 80 metres out. That is an absolute class act there. Number 4, Michael Decorado from Ashwood. I've still got no idea how he's managed to stick that one through from the pocket. That is an absolute cracker. Coming at number 3, Johnson Lorena from Clayton. A very, very nice snap coming there from long range. He's bent that back beautifully. At number 2, Jared Marola from Endeavour Hills, close to the boundary, and that is an absolute special. Just trickled that through from, it was stuck between the post and the angle was that tight. That's fantastic. Love that one, didn't you, Jared? And of course, coming in at number 1, This is a classy finish from Darcy O'Brien, deep in the pocket against a quality opposition in Hampton Park, and Darcy O'Brien, wow, what a star. So, there. We'll probably get some feedback on that on social media, that's for sure. Now we'll have a quick look at the marks of the year as well. So I've picked out 5 of the best ones. I think a few of you guys probably seen these ones throughout the year. There's some absolute grippers. Oh there we go. Not more glitches now. We're all right. We're off and racing. Time something went right, I reckon. Number 5 from Blackrock, Lockie Dobson. Flies from behind. He's Lockie Dobson special, that one. What he's known for. Just flying from behind and a solid pair of hands. Joe Morello again, a little bit more meat on for Joe Morello. What a star. Nice little jump there. Number 3, and I've watched this several times, I still have no idea how Nicholas Fairfield's managed to grab this thing between 2 players. That is incredible, that's fantastic. Nathan Davis, Blackrock coming in at number 2. Fair bit of hang time for that one. That's a special mark, that one. And of course, number 1, a clear-cut winner, Phil Ward from Endeavour Hill. That is as good a mark as you'll see, that's brilliant. Coming against Ashwood earlier in the year, so those are the top 5 marks of the year. A couple of Endeavour Hill players in that wrap up there. What were your thoughts, Ryan?
Pretty good. I definitely couldn't get any in. Probably wouldn't get that high. That's pretty impressive from all the boys.
Fantastic. I'll hand it over to you, Robbo.
Well, I've got these 2 boys up here. Let's talk about your own club's season highlights to you individually. It doesn't have to be necessarily the play. You saw out in the field, it might be the club coming together, as you said, but there might have been some special play as well. I'll go to you first of all. Talk about Hampton Park, highlight of the year.
Oh, my highlight of the year was in the second semi, a mark in the last quarter, I think it was the 3rd quarter, by Travie D, which he was sitting on 2 blokes' shoulders and took, which I thought was mark of the year.
But didn't make the cut.
It didn't make the cut, Will. What's happened there, mate? Just didn't get the footage, is that what it was?
I'll have to get the work experience kid to
work experience kid.
I can't do it all, Robbo. I can't do it all.
No, you can't do it all. We are here at the Stanbell Hotel.
What about the bus trip to Cerberus?
What's that?
The bus trip to Cerberus have to be a highlight.
I reckon the bus trip to Cerberus has got to be one of the highlights.
The trip home.
And I've heard, because I don't know, because I've never played against Cerberus, they put on a pretty good spread down there. Is it the grub? Is it what is it?
Yeah, good food. The fucking great feed.
Right, so you've been down to Cerberus, you've tasted some of the fare down there. Highlight for the year, is that for you or is it something else?
Pretty good. But unfortunately, in the reserves, we had one of the boys lose a family member late in the season. Came out and kicked the goal with 30 seconds left from the boundary, and everyone on the ground just got to him, and it was one of those really special moments that you certainly don't take for granted. You certainly, obviously, you don't hope it's in that situation, but for me, that was probably our highlight so far, but we hope that our number 1 highlights to come on Sunday.
Thanks for your time, John. It should be a cracking game over the weekend. Let's give it up for Paul Kerr and Ryan Iverson from Endeavour Hill and Hampton Park. Will be a fantastic game on Sunday, sure. I think it might be time to get the senior coach stuff and we'll chat about the
all the best, mate. Good on you, buddy.
Some highlights, so we'll take a 2 minutes and we'll get the senior coach stuff and we'll preview the senior grand final.
How do you measure the difference between success or failure? Sports Performance Tracking's GPS, the latest wearable sports technology developed for athletes and teams, gives you the advantage like global professional sports people. Monitor, compare and improve your individual or team's performance to get that winning edge.
It has given us an invaluable resource, not only as coaches to understand what our players are capable of at training on a game day, but more importantly for the players to understand what they're capable of and give them benchmarks to work towards every single week to make them better players in the long run.
Sports Performance Tracking GPS, your personal sports scientist. Available now at sportsperformancetracking.com.
Garley Trophy Centre is a long-established business that has been operating for over 47 years and is a leading retailer of trophies and awards in Melbourne. Our showroom is in Hallam with thousands of trophies on display. In October 2018, Garlic Trophy Centre was incorporated into the Recognition ID business, which specialises in supplying name badges, signage and branded promotional items. We're all about sponsoring local clubs and giving back to the community.
Hi, Mark Petter from Petter Suspension and Brakes, family Australian-owned business, been around for 70 years. So our main services is obviously suspension and brakes. We've been specialising in suspension for the past 60 odd years, introduced brakes 5 or 6 years ago. Any suspension and brake needs, whether it's just from a basic repair to a full upgrade, we can take care of it.
We are highly competitive in all areas of banking activity. We've given back over $1,350,000 to community organisations.
We give 80% of our profits back to the community.
So why don't you come and join us, and together let's make a difference.
What, how, why, who? It all begins with you.
My name is Ross McFarlane and I'm the speaker for JLF Corporation's 7 Steps program. 7-Step program is basically built on taking your time to build a portfolio of properties with a focus on cash flow and compound growth. So what we're looking for is really anyone over 18 that wants to educate themselves, so when they're ready to go ahead, they've already got the knowledge there.
MelSafe is a leading provider of certification, audit and compliance services, specialising in safety, quality, environmental and chain of custody standards. We offer a professional service that provides you with assurance that your processes comply with relevant requirements. Visit our website to see how we can help you meet or maintain best practice for your compliance or certification needs.
How do you measure the difference between success or failure? Sports Performance Tracking's GPS, the latest wearable sports technology developed for athletes and teams, gives you the advantage like global professional sports people. Monitor, compare and improve your individual or team's performance to get that winning edge.
It has given us an invaluable resource, not only as coaches to understand what our players are capable of at training on a game day, but more importantly for the players to understand what they're capable of and give them benchmarks to work towards every single week to make them better players in the long run.
Sports Performance Tracking GPS, your personal sports scientist. Available now at sportsperformancetracking.com.
Garlic Trophy Centre is a long-established business that has been operating for over 47 years and is a leading retailer of trophies and awards in Melbourne. Our showroom is in Hallam with thousands of trophies on display. In October 2018, Garlic Trophy Centre was incorporated into the Recognition ID business, which specialises in supplying name badges, signage and branded promotional items. We're all about sponsoring local clubs and giving back to the community.
Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen. We are doing it live at the Sandbell Hotel in Moorabbin. It's again a final preview ahead of, we're going to start talking about the seniors now, grand final between Hampton Park this weekend. Obviously Hampton Park have been absolutely everywhere and they'll be taking on this mob here, the Clays. They have been going at it like raging bulls all year, haven't they, Will, with these two teams?
They sure have, and for a good part of the season I didn't want to mention round one and 140-point flogging for the Clays, but since then it's been a massive upward trajectory and you can't help but just be wrapped up on this story that is Clayton in season 2019 to come from where they have to a grand final.
that's just a bloody unbelievable achievement.
Yes,
So.
both sensational stories, I think. Both of these clubs have already highlighted in the show so far how well Hampton Park have handled themselves this year. To stay on top all year, it's no easy feat. We've got the coaches from both teams here at the moment. We're going to crack into this and talk to these guys ahead of what is going to be a sensational grand final. Juzzy Hill from the Hampton Park Redbacks. Give it up for Juzzy, ladies and gentlemen. And Jason Smith from the Clays as well. The Clays obviously very well represented down here in the Sandbelt, Wilbur.
Oh, for sure. There's plenty of it. It's just a sea of black and white, which as a Collingwood supporter, not necessarily a bad thing.
God, don't start. I'm going to go straight away, Wilbur. I'm going to go to you, Juzzy, because I've had to put up with this bloke all year round. Jackson Fry. Talk to me about Jackson Pockets Fry. Forward pocket, back pocket, Fry. He comes in every Monday night with a little bit of a head. Puts himself straight away centre half back in the 10 of the week.
Not true.
Talks up Hampton Park. A little bit too much for mine. Do you have to keep him grounded, level?
Oh no, Jacko's pretty good actually.
Thank you, thanks, Jazz.
He's had a super year for us now, and yeah, I think he deserves a bit of accolades. I think he actually talked himself down a little actually. Yeah, because he does cop a fair bit of flack from the boys at training, and I'm no doubt obviously the opposition guys probably get into it too. So, but no, he's been super for us all year.
He has been at that. I only take the mick. It's been a bit of fun all year round with this guy because he has been in a good mood. Obviously, the team's going well. Let's talk about that, Juzzy. You've coached well, obviously, with your players, mate. I'm just watching some highlights on the screens of your mob. Pretty slick football. As I said in the show so far, last year was a bit of a disappointment to go so far and not quite get there. This year, look like you've just come out and you've just steamrolled all the way through to the finals and into the grand final.
Yeah, not so much steamrolled, obviously Clayton, yeah, super opposition, but definitely there's a lot of hunger there from what happened last year going out strength sets. So yeah, the boys have just bought into everything all year, and yeah, they've worked so hard for it. So hopefully they get rewarded for all that work on Sunday.
Football always offers up great stories, and a good story from this division is the Clayton Football Club. The Clays this year, Jace, slow rise start, probably not a super slow start, but you would say and you would suggest that the final second half of the season, you guys have really put some form together, and you've come into the finals a team to beat.
It was a very slow start, round one. Shocking just watching the footage up there, 140 point loss to this mob. But since then, yeah, it's been super. And I think we won 7 or 8 in a row. Midway push to 3/4 of the way through the season, and yeah, momentum's a funny thing. We caught it and earned our confidence, and away we went.
We're down at the Sandbelt. I hand the microphone down to Will because I know he's itching to ask a question. The Sandbelt Hotel in Moorabbin. We have a live audience here. A lot of players will be playing grand finals this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It is final time, and it's the weather for it today, tomorrow, yesterday, fantastic. But then it's going to crack up on the weekend, Wilbur. It's not going to be great for these two guys. I'm sure you've got a question for them.
I mean, what is it with this time of year and having an absolute peach of a day Monday to Friday and just absolutely pisses down on the weekend, because I know we've got something special on, which is but it'll make for an interesting game nonetheless. Do you guys change your way? A question for both of you: do you guys change the way you sort of go about it depending on the weather? So if it's wet as forecast, so we might have to get Jane Bunn out to give us a weather report. But do you change anything from that point of view? I'll start with you, Jason.
Probably not. And if it was ideal, we'd have perfect weather and there'd be no excuses for ever lost. And yeah, we prefer better weather, but it is what it is. You can't control it, so it probably suits us a little bit more in the wet. We knocked them off in the wet. So no rain dances. We prefer better weather, but it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely. We're the same. We'd obviously prefer it to be dry. We've got a pretty potent forward line, but saying that, it's just nothing really changes. The game will be won in the midfield, I think, and you're just going to have to win contested footy, and that becomes even more important in wet conditions. So yeah, that's where it'll be won across, I think.
I'll ask a question to Jacko now, a player within the team, obviously getting things done down the back line, mate. Who are you looking for this weekend? Obviously, you're going to have some big matchups right across the board. Who do you reckon you'll get? And what are you looking forward to in this match? You preview any grand final anywhere, the AFL, it doesn't matter what division it is, there's going to be some guys probably in the midfield that are going to be locking horns, and you look forward to watching that. Who are you looking forward to watching on this weekend?
Well, firstly, my matchup, they seem to, changes a fair bit, so there won't be one certain matchup. Jackson Philpin will play on Jaden Gilmore, and then we sort of rotate a little bit. Probably in the middle, Chris Morrison, you have to say, arguably the best player in the comp, along with Shannon Henwood, who's an absolute superstar. They're Raging Bulls, great players. That matchup, and the ruck matchup, which has been great to watch, two fantastic players in Jesse Henderson and Luke Bain. These guys have played much higher standard of footy, so to see them run around Division 3 and go head to head, they're probably the two main matchups. And then in our forward line, I'm not sure who will play on Peter Dye, but he's obviously won the league goal kicking, so hopefully that he can have a big game, and yeah, that'll be a good matchup as well.
I'll go back to the two coaches now. I'm not going to give away tactics right now on the couch and the people and the live on Facebook, of course, but we do want to talk about this game a little bit. Let's talk about the opposition that you're going to have to play this weekend. We'll start with you, Jace. They've been fantastic at Hampton Park. They've got great players right across the board. You can't stop just one, obviously, to win a grand final. But what is your plan of attack without giving any secrets away? I mean, it's a question that has to be asked. We don't want secrets, but you're playing against a great mob.
I think played 5 times now, I think. First time's irrelevant, we'll forget about that, but the next 3 times, we knocked them off the third time we played them, and the other 2, second and fourth times, were actually up at 3 for the time both times. So I think if anyone knows in this division what it takes to knock them off, it's probably us. We will keep our cards close to our chest. Haven't had the same side twice all year. Doesn't look like it's going to happen again. 42 players new, so it's hard tactics-wise sometimes. Matchups key. Their midfield's obviously a strength. Knocked us over in the second semi 2 weeks ago through the midfield, so we sort of pride ourselves on our midfield and the depth and the class that goes through there, so they've got to lift a little bit, but apart from that, the way the weather's going to be, hardness of the footy is going to be the key, and I think we've got that in spades, so just looking forward to the contest.
Dozen, same question for you, mate. Obviously the Clays, obviously had a fantastic start against them. We talked about that a fair bit already, but they have really got their stuff together, haven't they? They've become a really hard team to play against. We've really enjoyed talking about these two matchups all year round. You're going to have to be your best to win this one on the weekend, don't you?
Oh, definitely, it's a great final, so you have to be your best. But look, we know, we're pretty confident we know where their best footballers are going to be. They're going to be right in the middle. So, it's incumbent on Luke Bain and Aaron Holden just to do their job on Henderson, just to try and break even. He's probably going to win the league best and fairest, I'd say. So, if they can break even there and just help Shannon and Luke Taylor breaking that out to try and stop Owen and Morrison in the midfield, then they'll go a long way towards winning the game. But if not, if Henderson gets on top and dominates like he did when they did beat us, then it's game on. So.
We're getting all the inside gossip as we pass the microphone down to Wilbur for a question. Doing it live here at the Sandville Hotel in Moorabbin, ahead of a fantastic game of football this weekend. It has to be said, Division 3 Seniors Grand Final. Wilbur, what have you got, mate?
Well, one for Smithy. I mean, if we go back a couple of weeks, it was a pretty comfortable victory to the Redbacks in the end just 2 weeks ago. You face them now in the grand final. What's the mindset of the players going into it? Do you do anything a little bit different structurally to match up on them? What do you do differently to roll them this time?
I don't want to give away structures or anything like that, but I think you mentioned about 2 weeks ago, I asked a question on the Thursday night before that final, stand up if you've played a senior final. There's only 3 blokes that have actually stood up. We probably were a little bit rabbit in the headlights that first final, then a week later asked the same question, everyone stood up, and I think it showed that following final how we can actually play it. I think that was the real ask, and we'll show that on Sunday.
So you're obviously better placed for it this weekend, but to you, Chuzzy, how have you spent the last week?
We had a really light week with the week off. We went to the pools and had a light session on a Thursday, but worked hard on a Saturday. We did a Saturday session before going to watch Clayton Endeavour Hills. I think the boys clocked up nearly 10 Ks on the track on Saturday. So
10.5.
10.5, surprising. He done an extra. So. But yeah, other than that, without being disrespectful to Endeavour Hills, we were pretty confident we would be playing against Clayton again in the grand final. So yeah, we really prepared for them for 2 weeks. So yeah, we know what's coming at us.
Jacko, what about your week this week, mate? Lastly, I'll finish off with you before we do something special. What about your week? How do you prepare yourself for a grand final? Did you play last year? you play last year in the granny?
No, we didn't make the granny last year. Straight sets.
Straight sets out. Have you played in grand final before?
Under 12s?
So
No.
really know how to prepare for a grand final.
No,
What
but
are you doing, mate?
I always go to the pool for a swim and sauna every Friday, so that won't change. And then just look after myself. Saturday night, obviously the first time we played on a Sunday this year. So yeah, train tomorrow night. Pool's Friday. Probably go watch a local game Saturday. Might come watch you, brother, on Saturday.
Yep.
And then obviously get down early to watch our twos for a midday start on Sunday. So nothing really changes for me.
So you're doing a fair bit of work at the moment. You did some work on Saturday. Have you ever seen Wilbur do any work?
The only thing Will did was tore his calf this year, I believe, playing. Yeah, so.
He was walking down the street, ladies and gentlemen, torn his calf. We're going to put Wilbur to the test. We're going to free Willie. It's about to get a little bit grey in here. He's a little bit grey.
Roaming Will.
Roaming Wilbur. He's going to get out amongst the crowd here. You're not going to get off scot-free.
Travis Davis.
The in-house
asking about his mark.
Before we do that, though,
with the New York hat behind Gary.
These two gentlemen here, get back to the bar, because I reckon you're the two that can have a drink. He can't. He's got to make sure he's having a nice sustagen or something like that. And get the friends. Showing my age now. Please give it up one more time for Josie Smith, Jason Smith and Josie Hill. Sorry, coaches here on a sensational grand final this weekend in this division. Can't wait for that one. We'll take you back, break, and we'll be back soon.
How do you measure the difference between success or failure? Sports Performance Tracking's GPS, the latest wearable sports technology developed for athletes and teams, gives you the advantage like global professional sports people. Monitor, compare and improve your individual or team's performance to get that winning edge.
It has given us an invaluable resource, not only as coaches to understand what our players are capable of at training on a game day, but more importantly for the players to understand what they're capable of and give them benchmarks to work towards every single week to make them better players in the long run.
Sports Performance Tracking GPS, your personal sports scientist. Available now at sportsperformancetracking.com.
Garley Trophy Centre is a long-established business that has been operating for over 47 years and is a leading retailer of trophies and awards in Melbourne. Our showroom is in Hallam with thousands of trophies on display. In October 2018, Garley Trophy Centre was incorporated into the Recognition ID business, which specialises in supplying name badges, signage and branded promotional items. We're all about sponsoring local clubs and giving back to the community.
Hi, Mark Pedder from Pedder Suspension and Brakes, family Australian-owned business, been around for 70 years. So our main services is obviously suspension and brakes. We've been specialising in suspension for the past 60 odd years, introduced brakes 5 or 6 years ago. Any suspension and brake needs, whether it's just from a basic repair to a full upgrade, we can take care of it.
We are highly competitive in all areas of banking activity. We've given back over $1,350,000 to community organisations.
We give 80% of our profits back to the community.
So why don't you come and join us, and together let's make a difference.
What, how, why, who? It all begins with you.
My name is Ross McFarlane. I'm the speaker for JLF Corporation's 7 Steps program. 7-Step program is basically built on taking your time to build a portfolio of properties with a focus on cash flow and compound growth. So what we're looking for is really anyone over 18 that wants to educate themselves, so when they're ready to go ahead, they've already got the knowledge there.
Melsafe is a leading provider of certification, audit and compliance services, specialising in safety, quality, environmental and chain of custody standards. We offer a professional service that provides you with assurance that your processes comply with relevant requirements. Visit our website to see how we can help you meet or maintain best practice for your compliance or certification needs.
How do you measure the difference between success or failure? Sports Performance Tracking's GPS, the latest wearable sports technology developed for athletes and teams, gives you the advantage like global professional sports people. Monitor, compare and improve your individual or team's performance to get that winning edge.
It has given us an invaluable resource, not only as coaches to understand what our players are capable of at training on a game day, but more importantly for the players to understand what they're capable of and give them benchmarks to work towards every single week to make them better players in the long run.
Sports Performance Tracking GPS, your personal sports scientist. Available now at sportsperformancetracking.com.
Garley Trophy Centre is a long-established business that has been operating for over 47 years and is a leading retailer of trophies and awards in Melbourne. Our showroom is in Hallam with thousands of trophies on display. In October 2018, Garley Trophy Centre was incorporated into the Recognition ID business, which specialises in supplying name badges, signage and branded promotional items. We're all about sponsoring local clubs and giving back to the community.
Hi, Mark Pedder from Pedder Suspension and Brakes, family Australian-owned business, been around for 70 years. So our main services is obviously suspension and brakes. We've been specialising in suspension for the past 60 odd years, introduced brakes 5 or 6 years ago. Any suspension and brake needs, whether it's just from a basic repair to a full upgrade, we can take care of it.
We are highly competitive in all areas of banking activity. We've given back over 1,350,000 to community organisations.
We give 80% of our profits back to the community.
So why don't you come and join us, and together let's make a difference.
What, how, why, who? It all begins with you.
My name is Ross McFarlane and I'm the speaker for JLF Corporation's 7 Steps program. 7-Step program is basically built on taking your time to build a portfolio of properties with a focus on cash flow and compound growth. So what we're looking for is really anyone over 18 that wants to educate themselves, so when they're ready to go ahead, they've already got the knowledge there.
And a few things of the week, so he's good. I'm happy.
How you feeling?
Good now?
Yeah, feeling pretty good.
Yep.
How's the body? Always good. Heard a shit answer from one of the other boys. I think you may have heard the skipper on the waters tonight. Absolutely, that's fantastic. And Byron Ho is an inspirational leader. He's pretty much perfect in Southern Footy and netball. Like, he's just some dirt on it. He's making everyone feel bad about herself. I was hoping for something a little bit more than that, but maybe Greg Collins can give us something. Give us some dirt on the skipper. See that, folks? You cannot possibly say a bad word about Jaden Gilmore. Now, Big Brendan Murphy from the Frankston Dolphins. Unfortunately, you couldn't get the job done last week, but obviously a pretty good season on the whole.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with it. I mean, I think in the we're pretty positive.
Now, of course, we're going live to Facebook right now, so this is a golden opportunity to throw one of your teammates under the bus, and they have absolutely no right to reply. Who are you throwing under and why? Sorry to put you on the spot like that.
Yeah, I'll throw it back under the bus.
What for?
Just big focus on all year about us being the fastest finishing side of the song.
Well done, lads. That's not good enough from you. No, it's all good. Moving over here, we've got the Windows boys now. David Ford. There's a bloody crumbs all over the joint with this one. Now, you were saying to me just off camera, you haven't been in the team of the week once, correct? What the hell is Paddy doing?
I'm not sure. It's really leaving getting me twice. I'm pretty sure I should at least get one mention.
Maybe he just doesn't like that.
Oh, that's pretty well. That's fine.
Ooh, probably best that we don't, because we go on live and of course there's no dump button on this. Now, here's an interesting haircut I'm wandering over here. Jordan, isn't it? Now, Jordan, I understand that you played a game against your old man earlier this season, put him fair on his freckle. Not that, Dad. What's your old man's name?
Joe.
And you've just knocked him in the next week, did you?
Yeah, played the game 6, he had to get jaw surgery, but other than that.
Going off the long run team and just lining up, did you?
Yeah, saw him there, but thought, Mello's going to get me eventually, so I thought that first break.
When you laid that shoulder in, how good did it feel just lining up your old man just going back?
Middle when he got up, or like got up a lot quicker, near to what fast up, had a good chunk of forward.
Well, I hope he got up a lot quicker than your old man. We didn't knock him on his ass, but there we go. Now, Hamish Browning, fantastic season from you, man. What the hell is going on above your top lip?
When I'm single, I have no out. So if there's any ladies behind, you know, guys are like, say
I just saw you were channeling inner Russell Robertson, who's been rocking that for most of the year until his dove cracked the brazen bits and told him to shave it off. Here's not the inspiration?
No, not at all. Sorry about
There you go, Robbo. It's not all about you, is it? Now over here we've got the Clayton ladies, which are, I've got to be honest, an absolute barrel of laughs. End of season, have you had any celebrations yet?
No, not yet. After this week. After the win.
After the win. Planning to dress up?
Yeah, we have Mad Monday on Monday.
And Mad Monday on Monday. What are you dressing as?
No, don't know yet.
Have any of you got your costume sorted?
Yeah, I don't yet. No, I'm not sure.
It's a secret, is it? You sure you don't want to share? Now on the red wines, very fancy, Natasha.
Thank you so much. Yes, that's what I'm drinking.
Costume sorted?
Costume sorted, once again, secret, bit of fun.
And so what's the plan? Just kicking on down at the club and just getting absolutely visually impaired?
Usually, you go. You're up. Yeah, that's the plan.
Fantastic, that's how we do it. Alright, I reckon that's just about done the rounds on the room. I reckon it's back to you, Robbo.
Well done, Wilbur. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. We pretty really did a great job. Will Hunter. We are doing it for the GameFace. We're doing the GameFace Footy show. So the Southern Football Netball League, we are doing Division 3 and 4 previews. Grand finals this weekend coming up. We'll crack on into Division 4 now, and we'll talk more specifically about the reserves first. And we've got a couple of representatives from those teams. We have Adam Fats Horton from Lyndhurst and Ben Black from the Frankston Dolphins. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for those two. Coach and captain, respectively. Guys, Lyndhurst obviously well represented in the room. It's a great colour, that orange. It shows out. not a bad bit of gear there too. Great year, mate. Made all the way to the grand final. Lyndhurst have been a powerhouse, seniors and reserves. I've got Paddy over here. He knows a lot about the Lyndhurst Lightning. He's been talking you up all year round. You've had a sensational year, mate. You must be pretty proud to get all the way to the grand final.
Yeah, thanks, Robbo. Yeah, for the club in their fourth year, we're pretty happy to have two sides of the big dance. We've worked pretty hard for it, so hopefully a bit of a reward for effort on Saturday.
Yeah, coming up against a side who's undefeated this week. How many times? 3 times you've played them?
Yep.
How are you changing that result?
We looked at the results earlier this afternoon, so at Gassi, and each time we played them, we chipped away. First game they got a hold of us a little bit in the last quarter, we ran a bit of legs, but the next two, which haven't been great weather both occasions, we chipped away, worked on it, got the result closer. The last time we played Frankston in the last round, we missed a shot with about a minute to go 2 points down, and they went down the other end and got a really valuable decision and kicked the goal from that, which took it to 14 points. But just chip away, and hard's getting there for Saturday, and then we'll see how we go. You've got to be there to win it. So.
Now, Fans, I want to take this in a little bit of a different direction. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we made a bit of a song and dance about one of the results that you guys had against Lyndale. You failed to kick a goal, you still won the game. Tell us about that. Firstly, how did that happen? And how did you see it from your point of view? Did you see anything?
Yeah, it was pretty appalling. Lyndhurst, we played a night game in August. Yeah.
Tell us everything you need to know.
During the game, we had 80 minutes of football. It did not stop raining for 80 minutes. The ground was flooded. The boundary umpires couldn't see the boundary line. They were just guessing. I told the boys 1 goal will win it. I turned out to be a lie because 1 goal didn't win it. But we got to the point where we were dragging Lyndale players across the line, just rush our own lines, just try and clear the area of 36 blokes. It was like on a 9 game. It was good.
As remarkable a game of footy as I reckon you'll see. Now, Benny, grand final this week, obviously. You didn't get the chocolates last year, but you're coming in pretty firm favourites, I would have thought, having such an outstanding season that you've had. There's obviously been a fair bit of improvement over this from last year's side to this year's. Where's that come from?
I think just a lot of people have come down the track and bought into second year club, the twos have made the flag, made into the big dance 2 years in a row, and our seniors have done pretty well as well. And just the effort out on the track, everyone's come down, bought in, and we've just had numbers, and everyone's pushing really hard.
What about from last week? How many players now that the seniors are out have to actually miss out?
That's for what the coaches have to decide. They asked me to be part of it, and I said no because I don't want anyone to disappoint anyone. But I don't know the numbers because there has been a lot of chopping and changing all year. But I'm not too sure, to be honest.
Yep.
So obviously you've had a bit of improvement, as you said, chipping away at the results, Fats. What's the mindset going into this one? Obviously, basically it's a free shot, given that these guys are going in favourites, and Benny, I don't want to put them all on you or anything, so I don't get the wrong idea there. What's the mindset from your blokes going into this one?
Yeah, look, we've got nothing to lose. Frankston have clearly been the best side in the twos all year. It's very tough to go through a whole season undefeated and win it all. It happens all the time that they get to the final hurdle and it just doesn't happen for whatever reason. So, if the result doesn't go our way, that's expected. But if it does, good for us, I guess. So we're pretty relaxed. It will be what it is, and we'll see Saturday, 10-2, what will happen.
What about for you guys? Have you got many that will miss out? Have you got a fully fit list?
Yeah, the beauty of having two sides in the grand final gives us a full list of players to choose from. There's a couple of senior players that couldn't play last week due to the fact that they hadn't played enough games to qualify. But there's a couple that'll play this week. So there will be hard luck stories, and that's sort of been the theme I've had for the last 8 or 9 weeks now, because I think we've used just over 50 players in the twos this year. We've been pretty settled for the last few weeks, but in footy there's hard luck stories all the time, and there might be a couple this week at Linus, which is unfortunate, but that's the price you pay for flag sometimes.
Now I've got a couple more for you, Benny. Obviously the disappointment of last year would be pretty motivating factor, I would have thought. Have you guys spoken about that internally and using that as a driving force to really make sure that you get the job done on Saturday?
Yeah, definitely the disappointment last year. I think it was 7 points we ended up losing by, and obviously that's made everyone around the club a lot hungrier, and I think our record this year's shown that, and with the depth of everyone that, everyone's hungry for it, and I think, hopefully everything goes our way, we'll be able to go, and yeah.
And who are the key players that we should really look out for your side on Saturday? Who's gonna get the job done for you blokes?
I don't know. Our midfield's been pretty strong all year. And we've got a couple of good forwards, without naming names, but I think you've probably done your research, so he knows who.
Give back to...
I'll go to the resident experts over here. You're going to have to pick one for me. I know they're sitting right next to you and it can be influenced sometimes, but you've got a buck. So we'll go with you, mate. Who wins and why?
If you haven't lost all season, it's it's usually a bit of a. Sometimes it can be a bit of a cross to bear for some sides, but I think if you've won your games in the manner that Frankston have throughout the season, then there's no reason why you can't get it done. That being said, I reckon Lyndhurst will have a real red-hot crack at it, but Frankston for me.
Eddie?
Yeah, I've got Frankston as well. I'm getting filthy looks, but they've gone through the season undefeated. There's a reason why they've done that. They've been pretty comfortable, and I can't see that changing this week.
Good on you, Paddy. I'm going to hand back now to Wilbur. We're going to move to the next segment, which is the highlights. Wilbur's plucked through all the division this year, some of the goals and some of the marks of the year from Division 4. Wilbur, take it away, mate.
Alrighty, so we'll start with the goals of the year for Division 4. And coming in at number 5, we've got Danny Hartley from Lindale, yep. Against your old model, Paddy. It is just bicycle kicked that out of midair. That is a freak of a goal. At number 4, Liam Hickman from CPL from downtown. He's just bombed that about 80 metres. And thanks for coming. That's an absolute cracker there. Coming at number 3, Zachary Kangalaris from Moorabbin. Some nice skills here, tight in the pocket, just sliding that one around the corner. Don't mind that.
That's nice.
From Lyndhurst, Corey Wiltshire. Just taking a mark from 50 outside the boundary and just slotting that as easily as you like. And number 1, Jack Shalasian from Hallam. I just love the candy cell here, and just puts that one straight through the middle. Didn't mind that. Very nice work from Jack Shalasian.
an absolute star down
Well,
there.
a big round of applause for our goal kickers for this year, some of the special efforts. We move on now to the mark of the year. This is the one I love to watch, Will, but the marks of the year, always something special.
Yeah, because you featured in it every single year, mate. But now it's someone else's turn. And kicking it off, one of the Frankston boys, and one of our guys too, Joshy Dart. This wouldn't be out of place in the Australian slip score than that. I didn't mind that. Yeah, if only the Australian boys could actually hold their catches like that, that'd be great. Eamon Honey from about 5 deep, just plucking that one out of thin air, went back and slotted the. And the crowd favourite, of course, David Ford, just sliding in across the top and just in front of the pack. Fordy really liked that one, I reckon.
Rates himself,
according to Paddy. His words, not mine. Rory McIver from helmet number 2.
Sticky.
Yeah, didn't get it on the one grab, but made it look fantastic. Just real nice job. And then by far the mark of the year, Mitch Delmo from Frankston. That is an absolute ripper.
That's Gary Moorcroft.
Absolutely it is. That is...
horizontal land on the bum, it's got to hurt.
Yep, that's as good a mark as you'll see, Robbo.
You imagine you doing that landing on your bum like that from that high. It wouldn't hurt you, but the rest of the world would feel it.
Yeah, the end of the airbags would go off and push
you
you
had a crack at my mustache down there. I'm going to have a crack at you,
mate. You've spent 25 weeks calling me a fat ass. One or two in the other direction's probably fine, I reckon.
Well, these two blokes have got a big weekend coming up, and we do wish them all the very best. Please give it up for Adam Fatsford from Lenders and Ben Black from the Frankston Dolphins. Good luck, gentlemen. We wish you all the best. We're going to take a bit of a break and be back.
Actually, no, we'll chuck some highlights on there.
Highlights and lowlights. Yeah.
No, we'll chuck some highlights on there. But while we let these guys go, we might ask the coach of the South Yarra Footy Club, Scott Steakhouse, and the coach of the Lyndhurst Football Club, Jamie Gaspero, to come up and preview the second game.
It will be a grand final this week, Lyndhurst versus South Yarra. They've played each other a few times this year. Let's have a look at some of the highlights from the season with them. We are very lucky to be joined on the panel by with two coaches from this weekend's game from South Yarra and Lyndhurst. Scotty Steghouse from South Yarra and Jamie Gasparo from Lyndhurst. Please give it up. What a year it's been for the Lyndhurst line, and I think I would be right in saying that the South Yarra boys have really lifted there all throughout the year. Started out okay, but towards the end of the year, we talked about it a lot, didn't we, Paddy, all year round, how impressive they were as they got closer and closer to finals, and we're like, geez, we thought it was going to be a one-horse race for this Lyndhurst line and the way they were going about it, but all of a sudden South Yarra said, hang on a second, we can play too. Paddy, I'll go to you, mate. You can ask the first question. We did talk a lot about these two teams this year.
Yeah, we absolutely did. I mean, we spoke about it probably 5 or 6 weeks ago where we probably thought Frankston were going to be that side who finished second, and South Yarra just jumped all over it with that back end of the season. They were just phenomenal. They beat Lyndhurst twice for Lyndhurst's only losses of the year. So, yeah, massive back end. So congratulations, Scott, on getting your side to where you are, especially after the preparation you guys had with your pre-season, not having a home. Massive turnaround. So what do you do this week to get yourselves in the box seat after having to come in the hard way?
We're training at Sandringham this week on the VFL deck. So obviously we're used to the small ground, so we've been pretty lucky this week getting the big deck to train on. So just changing up how we move the ball a bit, getting that extra kick in. And just trying to take it really light this week, trying to just embrace it, take the opportunity.
Yeah, it's also seemed like he's had a few injuries in the last couple of games. How have those boys pulled up? Will they be okay?
Yeah, all good. We got the big Zach Maher back on track this weekend, so that's a big one to get back in. He's leading the BNF at the moment, so he's a good one to have back. So I think we're trying full strength and ready to go.
Perfect.
One thing that really surprised me was seeing a 1D Canizzo rolling around for you blokes. One, is he likely to play on the weekend? And two, how's my old boss been going?
Yeah, he got us to Sandringham ground this week, so he'll be in this week for sure. Yeah, so he'll keep this spot. Yeah, he's been doing really well.
What a ripper. He's how's his form been over the last few weeks?
He only came in against Hallam for the last game of the year, and then on the weekend was his best game for sure, so he played really well.
Now, Jamie, a tremendous season obviously for the Lyndhurst Football Netball Club, obviously after the disappointment of last year. Did you change anything from, I guess, the last year's grand final defeat to mix it up for this season?
No, we really haven't. We had good setups and structures in place so we could continue on with this year. So we haven't changed a hell of a lot, no.
This man obviously had a little bit to do with it. But, obviously going confident into this game. I mean, it's been a pretty good season, finishing minor premiers and rolling South Yarra in the semi-final a couple of weeks ago. Would probably give you guys, the mental one-upmanship, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. But South Yarra been phenomenal back up there, like we spoke about. They knocked us off twice in that time. Played some really good footy. So that's about pleased anything can happen. So.
Do you think that, obviously to you, Scotty, training at Sandringham will have a bit of an impact, obviously, for come Saturday, isn't it? Yeah, come Saturday. Because obviously your ground, you play your ballwin ground phenomenally well, but you tend to come unstuck on a few of the larger grounds, obviously Keysborough being one of them. Is that going to be a real big factor for you come Saturday?
Yeah, I think so. And the last game of the year we played at Hallam, so previous few weeks we've been playing on the bigger grounds, and against Frankston on the weekend we adapted a lot better. I think that first final, a few boys were pretty nervous, and that first quarter they just jumped us, they just hit it a lot harder, they just got out of the way and we couldn't claw it back. So I think this weekend a bit more finals experience and training on the big ground will be a big difference for us.
Jamie, I'll go to you. What do you do about the man on your right? He's been in phenomenal form all year, probably the favourite for the league BNF. How do you go about stopping him another game? Because you kept him pretty quiet last.
We did. He has been good all year, and I think you're probably right. He's probably the favourite for the league BNF. I'll back our mids in to get the job done. We generally don't run our tag as such. And I don't think anything will change for us this week. We'll just back our mids in one-on-one and see what happens.
And what about you, Scott? What do you do to try and break break the hold they had on you in the last game. Obviously, the 2 times previously that you played, you absolutely dominated all of those games. Do you just back yourself in, or do you change something up?
Like you said, they don't run a tag at all on him. They got a pretty deep midfield, so it's pretty much just our midfield going head-to-head against their midfield. So it actually probably makes it a little bit harder. Sometimes with the tag, you kind of know where you have to be the whole time because they're on you, but against their midfield, you're constantly chasing them as well. So, yeah.
I've got a question.
I want to ask about the glory of playing in a grand final and premierships and all that sort of stuff, because they're actually hard to do. They're really hard to win. It doesn't matter where you play, what division, what league. Winning grand finals, whether it be football, whether it be hockey, whether it be netball, whatever it is, very, very hard to do, and it should be celebrated in the week leading into a grand final. I remember when I played in the grand final in 2000, and there was my coach at the time. We tried to keep everything as normal as we possibly could, but there obviously is a lot of fanfare that comes with it. Something like this tonight, it doesn't happen all the time. Are you doing anything? Are you talking about it? I'll go to both of you and hand the microphone on. Are you doing anything with your players? I guess that's what we really want to hear. Yes, you train the same, but do you talk about, I mean, this is a big game.
Pretty quickly, and the celebrations start to get spoken about, so we try definitely.
Yeah, and we're the same. We played there last year, so we know what to expect, and our boys are pretty switched on and ready to go, so yeah, nothing really different.
Very good. We wish you both all the very best this weekend. We don't want to talk about it too much, get you too nervous and get you back down there amongst your people so you can rest up. Could you please give it up for these 2 wonderful coaches? They've been fantastic this year. Scotty Steele and John from Lyndhurst. Stay there for a second, gents. We're going to get Jackson Fry back up here because, mate, you're having a beer over there. Oh, no, you're not having a beer. You're having a softie, aren't you? You're getting yourself ready for a grand final yourself. We're going to talk about the team of the year for Division 3 and 4 Southern Football Netball League. I'm sure.
Actually, before we go to that, how about we give some tips for this game too?
Are you going to do some tips? All right.
We'll do some tips.
But you can start us off. Who's going to win this one and why?
It will be as close a game of all the grand finals. I think this will be the closest one across all the divisions. I mean, it's Lyndhurst will probably go in favourites, but you know South Yarra proved their back half of the year is their footy's as good as anyone's in the comp. So this could even go to extra time, and it's a shame I can't say it's a draw actually. Because,
you always do. You always say it's going to be a draw.
Yeah, but I can't because there's extra time, and they play that until someone wins. So. I reckon it'll be Lyndhurst by less than a goal. And I mean that, less than a goal.
Whoever's got Lyndhurst picked, how about you, Cody?
I think with the conditions, it's going to be pretty similar to the last game that they played. Expect Lyndhurst to come out on top again, so yeah, Lyndhurst for me.
Both got Lyndhurst picked, and I don't do any tips, all right, so don't worry about that.
But we've seen throughout the year that my tipping is absolute rubbish.
Yep.
So don't listen to anything I say. This will use that as motivating factor, Scotty, too. So you know that little wager we've had on the Div 2 show as well, which we'll be doing next week as well.
He is. Is it 6-pack?
No, the jumper.
The jumper? Oh,
I've written off your mob. I've already written off your mob.
You did not think we were going to get all the way through to a prelim. You thought we'd go out in the first final, but we haven't. So I'm hoping you'll be wearing a Dutchman jumper. Good luck, boys. I hope you go really, really well. Both teams deserve to be in the grand final, and as history has shown us, grand finals can go any way, either way. Finals football is unpredictable. It's going to be a fantastic game, no doubt. Like you said, it will be a close game. Please give it up one more time for these 2 wonderful people, both wonderful clubs. We're talking about the Division 4 Team of the Year. So, Paddy, you're going to talk about this one first with Wilbur. You're going to walk us through, talk us through each line from the back line to the front. Now, for those people that don't know out there that are watching, the people in the room that haven't seen our shows this year, every single week these 2 guys come in, and Jackson does the same for his division. They talk about the players of the week. They go to all the coaches, they give them a call, they find out who's played well, and they put it together. They've done that for the season. So, the GameFace Team of the Year for Division 4, who's going to kick us off?
I'll let you kick it off, Paddy. Why not?
Dang it. All right, oh, that's loud. All right.
I need to yell, mate.
Sorry, mate. I just like the sound of my own voice. All right, from the back line, from Lyndhurst, we've got Jesse Walia. In fullback from South Yarra, we've got Tom Rogers. And the other back pocket from CPL, Liam Hickman.
On the back line from the halfbacks, we've got Zach Marr from South Yarra. And centre halfback, and the captain of the side, Brendan Murphy from Frankston Dolphins. And on the other halfback flank, he's had an outstanding season from Moorabbin, Josh Kyle.
All right, onto the centre line. On the first wing, we've got Rory McIver from Hallam. Scott Steghouse from South Yarra. And Jared Murphy from Lyndhurst.
You did this on purpose, didn't you?
I didn't want to say his name.
You did this on purpose because you gave me Shaq the other week,
Yeah.
knowing full well that I wouldn't be able to pronounce it. I had about 15 cracks at it and still got it wrong. On the half forward line from Lyndhurst, David Ford. That's a bit harsh. A little bit of love for David Ford, please. At centre half forward, Hamish Browning from Lyndhurst. There we go. There's a little bit of love for one of Lyndhurst boys. And then on the other half forward flank, Jack Charlassin from Hallam.
And the full forward line, we've got Lachlan Fielding from Frankston. Alex Wilson from CPL. And Jared McGrath from Lyndhurst, the filthy little albino.
You have it in for him, don't you?
You should see some of the stuff he sends me. He is an animal.
Just got to forward it to me, please. And in the rucks, big sauce, Julian Belfrage from South Yarra. And stop hurting Daisy, please. Charlie Gardner from Lyndhurst. And from Hallam, Sam Ferrari, which I reckon is one of the best names in the Division 4 competition, just to be honest.
I thought you called him Stickers.
No, that was Matt McIntyre Stickers. And I categorically distanced myself from that. He's bigger than me.
On the interchange, we've got Jack Callaway from South Yarra. Brandon Bird from South Yarra. Sean Jackson from Moorabbin. And Callum Eifler from Frankston.
And that just leaves the coach of the team of the year, and that goes to none other than this man sitting on the couch, Scotty Steghouse from South Yarra.
Thanks, Scotty. Well done, Wilbur. Well done, Paddy. Congratulations to all of those picked in the team. No doubt that will be in the Herald Sun tomorrow, and you'll be receiving a car or something like that.
We've actually got some giveaways here for all the players selected. So
we might just get everyone that was selected in that side up on the stage at the end of this.
All right, at the end of this. Yep.
I'm going to sub in. Jackson's coming in. One of the pockets. Thank you, Paddy. We'll get moving now into the Division 3 Team of the Year. Why don't you start us off, Wilbur? Go for your life.
I prefer Jackson kick us off, but I can understand why he's not going to do this. In the back line, we have Daniel Kick from Blackrock. He's been a constant feature in this team of the year from Endeavour Hills. Ben Holland, well done, Dutchie. And we take the P155 out of him quite a bit on this show, but in all seriousness, he had an outstanding season. Jackson Fry from Hampton Park.
So everyone knows to remove the conflict of interest. I had nothing to do with this team. I let Will pick it for obvious reasons. So I think he's done a good job.
No, he did help me pick it actually, but he left himself off it. I was the one that crowbarred him.
Yeah. So halfback line, Nathan Reid from Endeavour Hills. Centre half-back George Lithotomas from Ashwood. And the other half-back Darcy Kingsbury from Clayton.
In the centre line, on the wing, Darcy O'Brien from Blackrock. We saw a fantastic goal he kicked, I think it might have been a goal of the year for Division 3, that was a ripper. In the centre and captain of the team of the year, Shannon Henwood from Hampton Park. And on the other wing, man I'm particularly fond of, very good player, Jake Chapman from Ashwood.
Half forward line, I believe we've got all these gentlemen present this evening. Travis Davis from Hampton Park. The captain of Clayton, Jaden Gilmore.
And on the other forward flank, Nick Gay from Endeavour Hills.
In the forward line, and I was told by the president that he might get a large head, but we've already featured him a few times tonight. Jared Marola from Endeavour Hills. He's been outstanding all season. So well done to you, Jared. Marks and goals of the year, just doing everything down there. Leading out the goal square, Peter Dye from Hampton Park, and Cameron Williamson from Hampton Park as well in the pocket.
The rucks, Jesse Henderson from Clayton. Patrick Carroll from Ashwood. And Chris Morrison from Clayton.
And of course on the interchange bench, Byron Ho from Clayton. He's been that outstanding pick-up for them.
He's had a great season.
Expect him to have a blind on the weekend. Lukey Baheen from Hampton Park. If Jesse Henderson is the best ruckman in the competition, Lukey Baheen a close second, I would have thought. They may not have had the on-field success, but Matty Gray has had an absolutely outstanding season for the Service Footy Club. Their best player by the length of Flemington Straight. And rounding out the pine, Reece Smart from Hampton Park. He's been a fantastic player.
Great work there, Will. And obviously, last but not least, the coach. Big congratulations to him, Jason Smith from Clayton.
Well done, well done. Obviously, the Clayton Football Club well represented in netball, well represented in the house tonight. We are doing it live from the Sandbelt, and that's been the show, ladies and gentlemen. We've started off slowly and finished off slowly as well. With only 2 microphones, we're all supposed to have one. I want to thank everyone that came up on the couch and joined us this evening. Some of our special guests, absolutely fantastic insight. We wish all of the teams that are in the room all the best for their grand finals this weekend. You two especially, well done. Good luck. Give them a big round of applause one more time. Congratulations to the team of the year players. Now, Wilbur, do you want to get them all up on stage to receive a bit of a prize? Or
Yeah, we will. We'll do the thank yous, then we'll get them up. We've got a few goodies for them.
So if you were named in the team of the year, come on up. We've got something for you. Get that done as soon as you possibly can. Don't be bashful, don't be shy. Thanks to all our panellists all year, Jackson Fry. You've been absolutely sensational for us, mate. You were a bit of a fill-in for us too. Bloody Spawn was supposed to be the man in the seat, but you had to come in and fill the void, and you did an absolutely wonderful job. Did not miss a show. Came in every week with all the information about Division 3, while still playing and trying to perform for his beloved Hampton Park. We wish you all the best this Saturday. Give it up for Jackson Fry, ladies and gentlemen. Paddy Cook over the back there, very much big thank you, mate, to your contributions to our GameFace footy shows this year. Division 4 obviously started off coaching within the division, then went off to another football club somewhere else, but still came in and talked it up about all the football clubs in this division. So would you please give it up for Paddy Cook one more time.
Cheers, guys.
Big shout out to our sponsors all the time: Bendigo Bank, Caulfield Park, Swibs Locker, Petters Suspension and Brakes, Melsafe, Sports Performance Tracking, and Garley Trophies. Big thank you, everyone, to the Sandbelt Hotel for putting on the grub and the beers for us tonight. Please give it up for them. Congrats to the competing teams: Hampton Park, Clayton, Endeavour Hills, Lyndhurst, South Yarra, and Frankston Dolphins. This is what it's all about. This is why we play football, to win grand finals. And as we always say, we'll go on the GameFace footy shows this weekend. Make sure you get your GameFace on. Is that what we say? Did we really say that?
Yes.
Get your GameFace on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I get everybody else in the room to say that all the time?
Unless you come see it in the outtakes, he goes, get your GameFace in, and then swore like a drunken sailor. You've got to release that, that's for sure.
Yeah, you're talking about the outtakes that we tried to show everyone that just didn't work.
To be fair, well, they did their best, the tech guys. I know it was a rocky start, but they got us there in the end, so we couldn't have done it without them. So let's give a round of applause for these guys and the try.
Thank you all of you that have come in to join us this evening for the GameFace footy show here live at the Sandbelt Hotel. Make sure you get home safely this evening. Enjoy a wonderful round of football or netball or whatever grand final you're going to attend this weekend. Go well, good luck. Thanks, Wilbur. We've got to give Wilbur a big round of applause. He's the man that puts it all together.
Thanks,
Well done, well done, well done. And as I said, as we close off the show and say goodbye to everybody at home, make sure you come up on the stage if you're named in the team of the year. It's one of the great things we get to do is to pick out some of the better players. You've done well to make the team. It may be only just the GameFace team of the years, but you've obviously had sensational years as players and coaches as well. Well done, good luck this weekend, we'll see you later. Bye to all of you at home.